are the Banda family. We share tips on traveling on budget, family time, games, and wisdom nuggets, and life in general. So today we're going to do a video. I have my husband with me here. Hi.
Hi everyone, how are you, and welcome to our page. I hope you'll be helped and you'll be entertained as we talk to you today about a special topic. So stay tuned.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, today we are going to talk about our special journey, how we came to Australia. The whole process of migration is pretty much what we will share with you. We'll talk to you about the process, we'll talk to you about finances, we'll talk to you about preparation, research, accommodation, all those things that are necessary for someone who's migrating to Australia to know. So pretty much it's going to be a lengthy discussion or a lengthy topic, but it will be helpful to someone.
Okay, so I think it was in 2000 and do you remember the year when we thought, yeah, I think we should start on a journey to get a visa to Australia? What year was it?
The thought actually came in 2013. That's where the thought came about, because in 2013 we started looking at our options. We had South Africa as one of the options, we had Canada, we had Dubai, we also had Australia, and we also thought about America. Just as anyone else thinking to relocate, you consider a large pool of countries, and for various reasons you also end up settling for a couple, maybe 2 or 3. So from our list, we felt America would have been too hard for us because we didn't understand the process. The second thing is we looked at Canada, and Canada really would have been the easiest for myself. But looking at the downside, it's a country that is very cold weather, snow most of the time. So we wouldn't have really fared well in cold weather, would be sick all of the time. So Canada really wasn't one of our best options. And South Africa. So South Africa was one of the top destinations to go through, but really as a transition to get our way out of the African continent. So we were left with the 2 options, South Africa and Australia.
Yeah, so guys, I don't do cold. I can't handle cold. I easily get a flu. So nah, Canada I'll just visit maybe for a week to just experience it, but not like living there. I don't think I'll manage. So we ended up trying to get a South African visa, and also trying to navigate through the system to apply for an Australian visa. So South Africa was sort of like going to be our stepping stone, so that we raise the money that was required. We wanted to get a PR. We were aiming for visa 189, the skilled independent visa for Australia. So we did our first step. We approached an agent, an immigration agent, a very reputable company. I think it was in Belgravia. Was it in Belgravia?
I think it was Belgravia, but really it was north of Harare. Let's just put it that way. It was north of Harare.
Yeah, so We approached them and they charged us $2,000 to do the whole process. Do you remember what year that was?
That was 2014.
Yeah, in 2014. We paid our $2,000. We submitted our papers. We actually went to see one of the agents at his house in Avondale. They looked really legit and very reputable, but they closed. Yeah, they just did close, and they handed us over to their branch in Pretoria. And they got in touch, the guys from Pretoria, and they said, we are going to be proceeding with your application to Australia. Our branch in Harare is closed, but we never heard back from them. Yeah, that was it. So $2,000 just went out. And then we were trying to get to South Africa, remember? And there was this immigration lawyer, and my husband went to, I think it was Witbank. Yeah.
So that's actually an interesting story because that was in Witbank. So I went to Witbank. I can't remember the name, and the name doesn't matter anyway because I wasn't going to share it. So that was in Witbank, an immigration lawyer. So supposedly I was supposed to meet him. They'll give me all the accommodation and the boarding for the entire stay of the duration I was in South Africa to apply for that visa. And as soon as I got to their house, I soon realized it was not really a proper accommodation or a proper house. It was really jammed up, crammed up, a lot of people living in that place. But anyways, we made it work. The belief or the understanding was they were an immigration lawyer, but once I got there, I understood that it was someone who really, just someone who will try and make it work, like a backdoor visa kind of thing. So as soon as I realized what was going on, I decided not to pay for the service because it was not through an official system. So in South Africa, that attempt to work with a migration visa didn't work out. So we went back to Zimbabwe, back to the drawing board. And then we started applying online, pretty much going through the whole process from researching and trying to find out what works and how the whole process works. One thing I will share is research is your friend. Research is your friend. It doesn't matter someone else has told you, but one thing I've discovered through the processes is every visa application is unique to your situation. It is unique to your level of education. It is unique to the amount of money that you have. It is unique to your intentions, whether you intend to relocate permanently or whether you intend to relocate for a fixed number of years, whether you intend to relocate for medical reasons, for education, or any other thing, or business actually. So your unique circumstances what determines what sort of visa you end up applying for. So we started researching, back to the story, and we researched a bit, and we ended up understanding that there is a quota visa or quota permit in South Africa that we could apply for. We looked at the requirements to get there, so we started off sending off our qualifications for evaluation, SAQA. So sent my qualifications for evaluation and mapping into the South African framework, and those were returned. I think that took about maybe 60 days or 90 days to get the equivalent, which was awesome. By then, what I got was an NQ6 level qualification. What else did we do? Yes, and then we went on to the South African Embassy in Harare. That's in Belgravia, definitely. So we went there, waited in queue like everyone else because it was a busy station with lots of people. There was a lot of shoving, pushing, and a lot of that. It surprises you how many people really want to, migrate transfer it to other countries. But anyways, waiting in the queue, got my turn, got the application forms. I can't remember how much I paid, but eventually I got processed and submitted my passport. So with the permit application, you have to submit your passport, so hand it over, they'll have it or hold on to it. And I actually believe they send it physically to South Africa to get that physical permit applied onto your passport. So I think that was another wait for a couple of months. Mind you, we're also doing research about relocating to Australia at the same time.
Yes, so we didn't have internet at home. Yeah, we live in Kwekwe. We grew up in Kwekwe. We are Kwekwe blood. So yeah, Kwekwe ahoy. So we used to go to this internet cafe, which is it was like opposite TM. I think it's a PG complex. So yeah, that was the internet cafe that we used to go.
Yes, close to the rank.
Yeah, close to the rank, and would research. So the first step for Australia was to evaluate our qualifications. I studied IT. I've got a bachelor's degree in IT, and my husband had ND in instrumentation and control engineering. So our first step was to submit his qualifications for evaluation to the Australian educational system. So that was TRA, the trades recognition. So we had like two options. Either I could be the primary applicant, use my qualification as the major applicant, visa applicant, and then also submit my husband as my partner, so that he is also like granted the visa. And that was like going to give us maybe around 65 points, because they sort of like give you points for if you've got like over 5 years experience in your area, industrial experience. If you've got like IELTS, if you pass on your high score, I think they'll give it like 10 points. If your spouse has an evaluation, an Australian evaluation, they would give points for that. So yeah, that was the skilled independent visa we were after. So they have like a list that they publish every year for which critical employees they want to give visas to. So my qualification as an IT trainer, I was working as a lecturer at a poly. So my qualification as an IT trainer was listed on that list, and also his qualification as an instrumentation technician was also listed on the list. So we were really like we really had like options. So yeah, we decided that he's going to be the main applicant, and we sent his qualifications to TRA, and I think we paid about, do you remember like how much we paid?
So for my assessment with the Trade Recognition Australia, I paid $1,000 then. So I think then when we did it, it was the equivalent of $800. That was to get the equivalent. So in Australia, that would have been a set 3 in instrumentation and control systems. So to get that mapped across to the Australian framework, that was $800. So be mindful, this is many years ago. So this is 2014, 2015. So that system has since changed, because from my understanding, the TRA has now been embedded in VETASES. So I think even for instrumentation technicians, you still need to go through VETASES. So you might need to check if you're an instrumentation or an electronics person. So my subclass of assessment, that's the other thing, you have to identify the closest matching qualification. So what happens with the Australian frame network for education systems or job descriptions, you actually have to identify the skills or what you do on a daily basis and map it to a job role that they have that exists. So what that means is, for instance, you might be certified as an instrumentation technician in Zimbabwe, but when you cross over to Australia, the best match would be an electronics technician. So depending on what exactly you're doing in your role, you look at your responsibilities or your most recent job description, and you look at their job description as to electronics or nursing or whatever it is, whatever field it is. So you really look at the job description of the intended profession in Australia. So when that is your best match, that is what you apply for. So essentially that's what I did. So I ended up finding electronic instrumentation technician, and that's what we applied for through the TRA. Paid $800, and they have a strict 90-day processing time. And when they say 90-day processing time, they're talking about working days. So that's a Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, and you count 90 days. And true to that fact, it was exactly 90 days when I got my results, which was a positive assessment.
Okay, that's TRA. TRA is out, one down. So guys, this video is getting too long. We are going to be back with part 2 coming to Australia. So guys, please follow us, share this video, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want to give you more videos. Okay, watch out for part 2. Thank you.